Okay, now that we are here, what we want to do first, we want to install a guest edition just to make it more friendly, so you want to click on device, go to install guest edition cd, and as you click on that, you go to files here, click on files, and the cd drive d virtual, that's what we need. As you can see, let's see here, it's going to be under this pc, and cd drive d virtual. So you want to double click on that one, and what we need to is our VBox window addition, as you can see here, and that's what we need. You want to double click on that, and then as you can see, when you double click on it, you just need to let it install. Okay, so let's go ahead and double click on it, and it should be coming up soon. And then you want to click on next, and then as you can see, show you the destination folder. This is our destination folder where it's going to be. So click on next. We don't need to change the destination folder, it's fine. So click on next, and then click on install, and as you can see, it is installing right now. Just give it a time, should be coming up soon. Okay, now it is almost done. It's asking you to reboot now. You say yes, finish, and then just let it reboot. Okay, and here you don't need to do anything else, just give it a time and it should be restarted pretty soon. Okay, now it's going through it like computer. So there you go, so we're here. So now you want to click on the Control Alt Delete, and then it's going to bring you to the administrator. So you put on your password, and then here we are back in our server manager interface. As you can see here, server manager interface. Okay, so just give it time and it should be popping up soon, and we can go ahead and then finish up our configuration that we need to do here. Okay, and the first configuration we need to do, we need to install our network. But before we do that, let's eject this. So you want to go to device, optional drive, remove disk. The guest that we just installed, that's what we want to remove, the disk first. So we already removed the disk. So you go to device, optical device, and then go all the way down and then click on remove disk. Okay, because you want to make sure that whenever the system reboot, it's not going to go directly to that disk. So we wanted to get that reboot from our drive. Okay, so now let's go ahead and turn on our pfSense, because remember we already set up a IP to our pfSense. We want to make sure that this Active Directory can get the gateway and then the IP from the pfSense. Okay, so now we want to turn on our pfSense. Just give it a time. Our pfSense should be coming up soon. The gateway that we're going to use in this Active Directory will be coming from the pfSense that we already set up, because inside that pfSense we already have the AD lab there set up, and then we have our Mara cyber range also set up there. Okay, so that's where we're gonna get this the gateway that we need. Right, so just give it a time, it should be coming up soon. Okay, should be coming. We can just put this down and then just make it a little bit bigger. Okay, yeah, our pfSense should be coming up soon. All right, so our pfSense is ready to go, as you can see here, and the AD lab is there, the Mara cyber range also is there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and, so to set up the network, we want to click on this icon right here where it say identify network. Click on it and then go to open network and internet. Okay, and when you click it, this is what you have here. As you can see, the status of the network is right here. It said no internet access, and it give you the status, the ethernet, the dial up, the VPN, airplane mode, all the things that you need. That's where you can find it here. So now what we need to do is we need to change the adapter option that we have. Okay, so that's the first step that we're going to do, just to allow our internet connection. So as you can see, you go to change the network, and then as you can see, we found the internet, the ethernet that we have. So you want to right click on the ethernet and then go all the way down to property, and then here at property, let's see, we want to make sure that we have our IPv4 and IPv6. Okay, so now we want to choose this one, internet protocol version 4, TCP and IPv4. That's what we'll put. Click on property, and then now you want to choose the IP address here. So now you want to go all the way down here and then click on use the following IP address, because we're going to assign them. We're going to assign it our own IP address that we already set up in our pfSense. Okay, so now as you can see here, the setting that we do here, just giving it like assign it IP address here. So we want to do 10, let's see, 10 no 10 dot 80 dot 80 and 2. Okay, so that's what we want to choose here, and then the subnet mask, it will be 255 that's 0. So 255 no, this should be that 0 here. Let me just clean here. 255.255.255, that should be that 0. Okay, now the default gateway, let's see, we already set this one is going to be 10.80, let's see, 10.80.80.2.1. That's going to be our gateway. Okay, so now what we want to do next, we want to choose our DNS server. So as you can see here, it said use the following DNS server. So we want to go ahead and then set up our DNS server. So it's going to be 10.80.80.2. okay, all right, so we have this one done here. What we want to do next is just click on okay, and we want to close our Ethernet properties here, and then as you can see, and you want to click yes here, and now let's close here, and also we can close this one right here. Okay, as you can see, so file and storage service manageable event performance BPA result. Okay, so now we have that, and let's open the network again, and here what we want to do next is we want to rename our machine. Okay, so because the machine already have a name, but it's going to be just random numbers and letters. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to make sure that we set up our own name, and then the name will be like DC1, which is going to be as domain control 1. Okay, so you want to go here, click on home, go to system, and then you want to go all the way down to about. As you can see here, you want to click on about and rename this PC, as you can see here. So this is the name of the PC here, so we want to click on rename this PC, and then we give it our name. So the name will be DC1 instead of Win and a bunch of numbers and letters. So it's going to be DC1, which is going to be our domain control 1. Next, you want to click on next, and continue. Okay, so now when it's stable service is restarted, just give it the time to come up. Okay, applying computer settings, as you can see. Okay, so now we want to do Control Alt Delete to unlock, to open the, and then click on put on the administrator password that we have, type enter. Okay, so now we are here. And as you can see, the server manage interface is back on running. All right, so the next setup that we want to do is we want to activate our directory and then our DNS. Those are the two main configuration that we need to do from here. Okay, so it's going to be the Active Directory configuration and also the DNS configuration. So those are our next steps that we will be focusing here. So you want to come to manager here and then click on add role, and then now this is, you want to click on next and then click on next again, and here is asking select installation type, and then you want to leave it at role based or feature based installation and click on next, because we're not doing any remote access to this. So click on next, and then here you want to choose the DC1, which is the name that we gave. Okay, Microsoft. Okay, so now we already renamed the machine, so you want to click on next, and then now you want to select on the first configuration that you need here, which is going to be our Active Directory domain service, and this is the feature that will come with it. All the features that come, the roles that that's why it's displaying those features here. So as you can see, add features that are required for Active Directory. Okay, these are the different features that is going to bring. So now we want to click on add features, and then now we want to click on next, because we already add that Active Directory service. And then now we want to choose on DNS, and then also the DNS show you the features, and you want to click on add features. Okay, so now here we choose Active Directory domain service, and then we choose the DNS service, and each of them already show you the feature that come with it. Okay, and then remember Active Directory domain service and DNS service, so we want to click on next. And then now when it comes to features, also here it's going to show you, we don't need anything, we can click on next. And then ADDS, let's click on, let's say Active Directory, let's click on next, and then the confirmation. So this step is just to confirm like those different features that we're adding on. Okay, so now we want to click on install, and as you can see, it is installing those features that we choose, which is the Active Directory domain service and the DNS server. Okay, those are the features that we add, and each of them bring in a lot of features that already display those features. Okay, so now we want to just wait as we installing our domain, our Active Directory, which is our domain control one. That's what we're activating right now, domain control one, because we will add another one later on. But as here we're doing we're installing the DC1, and the DC1 have Active Directory domain service and DNS server. Just repeating, just because I don't want to get confused on this installation. Okay, all right, so now we're just gonna give it a time, let it do his thing installing. So we don't need to bother anything, just let it run. As you can see, it is going through it right now. It's going through it right now. Just let it finish up the installation. It's almost done. Right, let's just be patient with it. It is running. Right. So it's almost finished. Okay, all right, so it looks like our AMP configuration is done, and as you can see here, so let's see, installation progress, configuration require installation success for DAC1, Active Directory domain service. Additional steps are required to make this machine a domain controller. Okay, DNS server, group policy management, remote server administration tools, role administration tool, ADDS and LDS tools, Active Directory module for Windows, PowerShell, ADDS tools, and Active Directory administrative center. Okay, you can now close this wizard without interrupting. Running task, view task progress. Okay, so now we're just gonna go ahead and close this window right here. As you can see, we have our ADS here. So now we want to click on the flag, and then when you click on the flag, go to promote this server. That's another step that we need to do. When you click on that one, and it's gonna show you the deployment configuration here. Okay, and then now, as you can see here, it's asking you to add a new forest. So now we're just gonna go ahead and click on add new forest, and now we're gonna give it a name, which is gonna be our AD lab. Okay, so it's gonna be AD, let's see, AD.lab. Okay, so that's the name that we're gonna give our domain, and click on next, and just let it configure. Okay, so now we want to set up a password here, and just make sure to remember this password, because you barely may use it later on, but it is good to do a common password that you will remember all the time. So now here we want to set up our new password right here, and we want to confirm the password that we already set up. Again, make sure to remember this, and then when you're done, you want to click on next. Let's see here, type directory service, domain name system, DNS server, global catalog, read only domain control. So this is the function level that we have here. That's what it is. So we want to click on next, and then create a DNS delegation, and let's see, target service, then DNS option. So let's see, should I close this? Okay, let's see, close. Okay, now, okay, now let's give it a name. It's gonna be the AD lab. Okay, the AD lab. The AD lab is right there. Okay, go to additional options. So the meantime the installation is going through. So okay, so which is the AD, that's what we need here, and let's click on next. Okay, so we want to click on next again, and then next, and prerequisite check. So it's checking right now. Just let it do the checkup first. Okay, we have everything checked up, so we're gonna click on install, and as you can see, it is installing right now. So you're just gonna be patient with the progress, let it go through the installation. Okay, and it's gonna ask you to sign out. You say okay, you're gonna close this one right here. You're about to be signed out. The computer is being registered because of Active Directory domain service was installed or removed. Okay, so now that you know that we installed that, we want to click on close, and just let it restart itself. All right, just now, as you can see, we have installed our DNS, DC1 and DNS, and then our Active Directory 1. So as you can see here, you click on Control Alt Delete. When you click on Control plus alt plus delete, it should bring you into a new login, which is going to be our AD administrator. Okay, that's what we just finished setting up. Okay, as you can see, there you go. So now we have AD administrator. Okay, so now you want to choose the AD administrator and put the password that you created. Okay, so that's the configuration that we needed to do here in our Active Directory. Set up a domain control one, and then do the Active Directory configuration and do the DNS configuration. So that part is pretty much done. Okay, so now we just want to log in with the password that we created into our AD administrator. All right, just give the time. Now we're here. Okay, so now we're done for this step. So now what we're going to do later is going to come into our next video. So I just didn't want this video to be long and it's a little bit confusing, so I'm just gonna end this video here, and then I will come up into part 3. So this one is going to be our part 2. Okay, so now our part 2 is done.